PSG then advancing 5-2 on aggregate. This first half was fascinating. Barcelona absolutely all over PSG. PSG would then take the lead for an Mbappe penalty. An extraordinary, brilliant goal from Lionel Messi would see it 1-1. Dembele had a million chances that he couldn't convert. And then on the stroke of half-time, really the defining moment in the game, Lionel Messi having that penalty save. And you just felt then Barcelona run out of belief in the second half. We didn't quite see the same team. Is that fair to say, Ali? That penalty save changed everything?
Of course it did. Even more so when you watch it and then you watch it again and you see Mauro Icardi encroaching. And clearly encroaching. And so therefore, if you have a system in place that could take a look at this and say, you know what? This is not allowed. This is against the laws of the game, so therefore the penalty should be retaken. And the truth of the matter is that when you see this happening, you have to ask the question, how come VAR can take a look at this and say, no, it's okay, it's good, play on? I don't quite understand it. And to your point, it did change the dynamic of the game because as good as Barcelona were in the first half, the second half, yes, they had possession. Yes, they seemed like they were about to create something, but never really with that sort of belief and confidence that they really thought that they were going to be able to come back in this match. I just don't think that after Messi, and it's not only that penalty misses, after Messi misses a penalty, what that means for this team going into halftime. Koeman could not get this team going for the second half.
Jules, how you love VAR. Because Verratti clear. Like, the thing that amazes me, right, you've got to review a penalty. Is Keylor Navas off his line? No, he's fine. Who then cleared the ball when the save was made? Verratti. Did he encroach? Yes, he encroached. Retake it. It's like they just forgot the second bit.
And to be fair, watching on television, I saw it straight away that Verratti was encroaching. And I really thought they're going to take this one again. And when they were checking, I don't think they're checking just for Navas. I think they must be checking for everything. And I agree with Ali. I don't understand why they didn't order this one to be retaken. I don't understand why they gave the PSG penalty in the first place anyway. I would not have given that Lenglet stamp on Icardi either. I thought they were shambles VAR tonight in Paris. It was to the advantage of PSG, so I'm not going to complain. But I thought the lack of consistency again is showing, and it's quite dramatic, really.
English officials, Frank. Blame the English.
Well, I'll blame the English. I can blame Mr. Taylor and his assistants, but I can blame the world of referees who are doing crazy things. And talking about consistency, you know, it's inconsistent all the way, and we can talk and debate every day about a VAR decision. I mean, that's insane. That's insane. I can even discuss about the penalty, and the first penalty for Paris Saint-Germain. And the first leg, the same thing happened to Barcelona. I mean, I want to know in which kind of football we are going into giving penalty for crazy stuff. I mean, the penalty, Icardi cannot get the ball whatsoever. Okay. Lenglet never looked at Icardi, so he's not willing to make any foul on Icardi. But we still decide to give a penalty because because Lenglet stamps on Icardi, not doing it on purpose again. So what kind of football is that? It's not the football that I loved. The football where, you know, something can happen, but because it's not around the area or the dangerous area, we don't really care because it's what it is. Especially if it's not mean, if it's not on purpose. Why do you want to give those sort of penalties? That's crazy. For me, I don't understand. Well, the encroaching stuff, it's even worse. Because we all saw that. We all named it. But how they don't want to see it, you know, that's a question we have to ask them. And it's not because the English, because I'm sure they would be French, it would be the same. They would be German, it would be the same. So it's awful. The football we are seeing right now, we are watching right now, is not the kind of football that I like, on top of what we see from the players.
The first penalty, do you agree with Frank? It wasn't a penalty.
Well, I happen to disagree with both Jules and Frank because here's where I come down on this. Clemente Lenglet, whether he means to step on Icardi or not, to me, that's irrelevant. the part that bothers me and would bother me if I were a Barcelona player is why is Icardi getting on the wrong side of Lenglet to begin with? And because of that, you open yourself up to this sort of possibility. And because we have this system in place, once they bring Anthony Taylor to the screen and he takes a look at it, and they show him clearly the foot on Lenglet going on top of the foot of Icardi, what is the referee to do at that point? I understand the frustrations of Frank and the frustration of Jules and what direction this is taking us, and perhaps it's not the direction I wanted either. But the truth of the matter is, once you see that shot and there is contact, how can you deny then that this was indeed a foul and that this was indeed impeding Icardi from getting to the end of the ball? Yes, the cross was going straight to Ter Stegen, but that's not what the referee should take a look at. He should take a look at it whether this player was impeded or not. And I think once you look at that same replay that Anthony Taylor looked at, well, clearly, at this point, you will call a penalty.
Of course, we could talk all day about VAR and decisions, but let's just talk about the match. And from a PSG perspective, Jules, they were terrible in the first half.
I thought it was an absolute disgrace, that first half. I think they got Pochettino, and I guess then the players got the game plan wrong completely. The approach was wrong. Maybe psychologically and consciously, you still had, for the ones who were there, what happened 4 years ago in the remontada somewhere in the back of the head. So you almost want to defend that lead that you got in the first game, in the first leg. But I thought it was an absolute terrible performance that first half. And they were so lucky to have Keylor Navas in goal because it's not just the Messi penalty. Of course, the Messi penalty is the turning point, but they should have been 4-0 down at halftime easily. If Ousmane Dembele's finish was to the same quality as his runs and as clinical as the runs that he made, who were pretty good all first half, they should have been 4-0 up and the game was over. PSG were never going to come back. And I just thought they got really lucky to still be 1-1 at halftime. And then the second half, I think Barca just dropped the intensity a bit. Their press was not as efficient. And PSG got a bit more breathing space. But that first half was an absolute disgrace, I thought, from PSG.
Frank, from a player's perspective, psychologically, do you go into a game different knowing that you're 4-1 up? Was that a problem for PSG?
Definitely a problem. Of course, 4-1, you're going to play at home. You never think. Even if you know PSG and you know the history between Barcelona and PSG and the remontada effect, you never think, especially with that Barcelona, they're going to come back and score four goals. So I guess they weren't completely tuned in. But I'm really looking forward to seeing, the end of that pandemic and that we go back to a normal world where we have the fans, where we have a big pressure from the fans, and we go back to overall a consistency from the teams. Because what we saw in the first leg with an appalling Barcelona and a fantastic Paris Saint-Germain, what you see tonight, which is completely the other way around, makes you very hard to analyze every game we watch because it's becoming a big mess. So we don't know in which situation the player stands before they have a game. They play a Champions League game. So I said, okay, they won 4-1 at home, away from home, sorry. But they have to finish the job. And in fact, we've never seen those kind of games being so fantastic in first leg and so awful in the second leg from so many teams. It can happen once or twice, but this season, it's a real nightmare.
PSG through to the quarterfinals, eliminating Barcelona without Neymar. Can they go one better than last year and win it all?
Hopefully, yes. I mean, they have everything in hands to do something special this season. But I still put Bayern Munich on top of every clubs right now. Even Manchester City, after what we saw last weekend against Manchester United, they are for me the two contenders, Manchester City and Bayern Munich. But Paris Saint-Germain is not that far. What's going to happen with Neymar? Is he a plus when he plays for Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League? I'm sorry if I have to have a doubt because I saw the best of Paris Saint-Germain without Neymar in the first leg. But no doubt that a real Neymar who wants to fight for the club will bring a plus. But I didn't see that yet since he's in Paris. So I want to see that. But Paris has a chance to win the Champions League this season, of course.
If PSG has a real opportunity to win this thing, they can't play conservative. They can't be tentative and passive like they were today. They cannot be the sort of team that, okay, we're just going to absorb pressure and we're going to go on the counter with the speed of Mbappe. That's not the makeup of this group. You saw how uncomfortable they were and how they couldn't really get close to people because they're not used to being that sort of group. It's not Atletico Madrid here that we're talking about. This is a team that likes to attack. Then go and attack. Go and press Barcelona. Go and create chances like you did in the first leg. Take those opportunities going forward. Because if you push Barcelona back and you force them to defend, they're going to make mistakes. Well, going forward, I'm thinking PSG, if indeed they are ambitious enough to win this competition, don't take a step back. Take a step forward and take advantage of the talent that you have available to in the attacking half. If indeed you do that, I think PSG does have an opportunity.
Have they improved from last year, Jules?
It's a good question. It's a really good question. I mean, I agree with Ali completely. You can't get your approach and your game plan wrong again like you did tonight because it will cost you and then you'll be out. Where I disagree with Frank is that the only season when Neymar has been fit, they reached the Champions League final. So we've seen him doing it with this PSG team. They're not better without him. That's not true. They're better when he's on the pitch. And yes, they were amazing in that first leg away at Barcelona for different reasons that we're not going to talk again about. But they're certainly better with him, as we saw last season when he took them to the Champions League final and they were so close to even winning it. So they need him fully fit and they need a bit of luck, of course, in the draw again. It'd be much better for them if Bayern and City play each other in the next round, for example, of course, and if PSG play Porto. But there's something there, but they need to get it right, and Pochettino needs to get it right. Last season it was Tuchel had that sort of game, that team spirit, that unity that I didn't see tonight. I'm sorry, I saw it in the first leg, but not tonight. And Pochettino needs to get that grip. Where's the intensity? It was nowhere near to be seen tonight. So there's still a lot of work to do. But of course, they're behind City and Bayern, but they can do it. Of course, they can.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.